to at this point in time, so it's going to have to be Blackdragons to show us what to do. They're going to be starting on the CT side, but CLG Red going to be on the T side, so we're off to the races already.
Yeah, and there could be a little bit of an advantage, of course, here for Blackdragons, knowing that this map is very CT-sided. But if one team can break it all down, it can be CLG Red. Looks like they will just be sneaking up a mid. There is going to be some contestment here coming in from Connector, but so far so good. They're just playing a bit more passive. The CTs are probably just trying to go for the retake, but actually the bomb is still a little bit behind. Doesn't really matter though. Goosebrider grabs the first kill and now can pretty much decide where to go to.
She's actually going to go check everything in Connector. I actually love the setup from the CT side, and they're going to get a little bit in return here. Nani coming up with a good kill, but die right back at it again. So it's a 2 versus 3 now, still over a minute on the clock. And that bomb has been picked up. You're right, though. It was almost left behind, but at least they have a shot at getting a bomb plant here. And they have... I like the fact that they're spending a bit of time, because no one's under any stress right now. On the CLG Red side, they have a couple of minutes here. They can still find an empty bomb site. And Emmy's going to be taking down Nani. So they're in a pretty good spot right here. 2 versus 1. They still have 40 seconds left.
They're going to be choosing this B bomb side though, and Julie is sitting right here. She's hearing the footsteps, and that is a very, very crisp headshot. Now there's one more to find. Can she get it? No, it's Kelsey grabbing the kill in return, and that means that CLG have taken the pistol round.
She actually saw that coming from the start. She went to that B bomb site way before anyone even realized they were going that way. So heads up play at the end, but just couldn't land that second headshot. So CLG Red, they'll win the pistol round. And that is not the start I think that Blackdragons needed. But I think they had, I like the setup they had in the pistol round from the beginning of having 3 people in Connector. It's such a cool way to play it because it means you can pretty much go anywhere. You can rotate quickly to A, quickly to B. I think that's a nice move. They just got picked off a little bit too early maybe, so they couldn't quite make it work. But the idea is definitely there.
Yeah, but now in this round, it seems that Blackdragons have gone for the force buy, in fact. And so far, already Younger out of the running, as very, very fast her head was being taken off. So that instantly forces a bit of a passiveness coming from Blackdragons, and upward quarters fallen as well. This is already a very, very good start for CLG Red.
Yeah, and some really fundamental Counter-Strike here. Flashing your MAC-10 in to check out all the restrooms. It's so low cost, even if you get caught from a stack. And right now, I mean, she's discovering everything. She's getting all the information. The fact that she's finding nobody is still really good information for what's happening on the map. And now she's going to just wait it out here while the rest of the team are taking the B bomb site, which is, at this point in time, completely empty. I think this is actually even fine from the CT's point of view. Why not save these pistols and the scout if you can? They're going to get caught trying to get a little bit too close there, Julie, which is, you want to be adventurous, but I don't mind the fact that they gave up on the B bomb site there. I don't think there's any sense in trying to defend it.
Yeah, no, being 2 players down that early on is pretty devastating. So holding on to the armored utility as well, which is actually Nani has quite a fair bit.
I've got to ask, Villas, what's your opinion? Is there a chance for an upset here? You think it can happen?
I actually do think so, yeah. There's a lot of intel, of course, on CLG Red. So Blackdragons have been studying, and they've been doing so during the main season as well. And that's the thing, over at the South American region, we had the favorites of Furia, who we have here this week as well, but also MIBR. And Blackdragons definitely proved themselves, even against the big names, that they simply are the better team. So even against a Titan like CLG Red, I think it definitely can be possible.
Something can happen. Yeah, Furia are playing later against Enigma Galaxy, right? In the best of 3. I think it's coming up a little bit later.
That's going to be one hell of a banger.
Yeah, that'll be fun. That could definitely be quite a close game, I think, from what we've seen so far. They managed to save a little bit into this next round, so they can still do some damage here in the 3rd round. Youngher already out looking for something with the scout. Pretty quick to get the jump up there. But they all take the long way around. Basically a hit squad coming out. 4 people running up long at the moment. And she's gonna evacuate that. I mean, no point in sticking around with the scout, I suppose. But she's got some good info. See how many people they can rotate into the A bomb site if they are quick.
Division lost as a majority of the players are over at long, but so far, none of the Blackdragons players at least fallen. So that gives a lot of space now for them to work with to set up for this push that's now going to come in. There was a flashbang for a little bit, but now nothing really in return, but it doesn't really matter because the firepower still seems to be right on point for CLG. 3 kills already. Bomb can now get planted. Smokes walls are up. So, yeah, so far so good. Only Dina left alive with just a pistol.
Trying to be sneaky. Almost caught the kill there. I mean, they had enough people at the bomb site, I think, to make a difference there for the Black Dragon squad. But they just didn't make it work this time, and that's fine. But they had a good, I think, again, in terms of the information that they managed to get in order to put people in the bomb site, it's pretty good. We'll see if they could do something now that they have the rifles. And I really think this is important. This round is going to be so important because we have already got a taste already of what happens when CLG Red starts to snowball and starts to really roll.
Yeah.
They have to stop that from happening, surely.
Also, just wanted to highlight, just now we saw those cameras in the audience, and you saw Nick Galaxy sitting front row. They are so ready to eat one of these teams up, whoever, because they're probably very confident they can make semi-finals after next game as well. Studying the teams. Love to see it. But now, already into this round, heavy firepower. Look at that. CLG has managed to instantly grab the site. And that means the 4-on-4 retake, it can be possible. Not when Julie grabs Dina, though.
Yeah, ooh, that's a nice little kill there for Nanny at least, and they need a lot more here. This retake is going to be super important. 3 versus 3 with the bomb already down. A bit of a flash to set it up, and it's a really good flashbang. Julie goes down, and next to Goose Breeder, it's all on Dai. She's on her own, and she'll get overpowered. Goddess to take her down. Super important retake in that 3-on-3, and the flash setup from Sewer down towards Monster, it was absolutely perfect. That set up the early kill, and that gave them the opening.
Yeah, and then they just swarmed the side pretty much. The synergy really seems to be there for Black Dragons. Good communication, and that's how you retake. And with that, now Black Dragons can hopefully convert onto more, because that's the problem that we've seen earlier again, you know, with CLG. They just couldn't really convert. Maybe there was a round or two, but yeah, the most important thing is to keep it going.
Yeah, get the economy away from them. Make sure that they don't have too much luxury. So far, pretty standard type setup here for CLG Red. Putting a little bit of pressure on over the playground side towards the birthday party. And yeah, outside of B, just keeping an eye as well. So they're pretty fast spread out at the moment, which is standard stuff right now. We'll see if Black Dragons are going to try to do anything more. It's kind of a strong setup at that B bomb site, right? Got 3 players defending it down there. Goose Breeder almost dying. That is close.
I love, you know, this is what the Brazilians are known for. This aggression, they go for the info plays, and also here over at Long, Younger grabs 1 kill, though in return, Dai also swings with the AWP, but luckily there was a bit of backup for CLG Red. But still, 4-on-4. And with 50 seconds left on the clock, they slowly need to start to make a decision. Bomb's still around lurking in playground. I think they might want to try and
fake it out.
Yeah.
Is that gonna sell it? You wonder. Those grenades are really far away from the A bomb site. Feels unlikely. And Black Dragons, they're not moving an inch from B bomb site right now. They've still got 3 players down there. They're still defending it really well. With under 30 seconds, this seems like it should be around almost already won for the CT side. Dina's got this close up. There's an anti-flash position from Julie right behind, and it's working out so far. Nice little follow-up there. Good double kill, and it's Goose Breeder low from the earlier punishment through the monster tunnel. I don't think she's got anything left in this round. Nice little round out of Dina as well. And the setup with Julie, even though she didn't get a lot of kills from that, just the fact that she's playing that anti-flash position, they have to double-check it. Yeah. Really, really well done. And they didn't buy that fake over at A even a little bit.
No, it was way too far away to even try and buy it. Like, it was like a Molotov. I was near to connector. It could be anything. It could be a connector, like a Molotov to prevent them from rotating into connector. So it almost was smelling like a B take from that moment. So, yeah, that means that they would now have to try again. And then Black Dragons, slowly, hopefully for them, they can try and start to build that economy.
Yeah, it's moving in the right direction for sure. Tech9s and Deagles on the CLG Red side. This is interesting and nicely done. A little bit of a crossfire setup here as they come out of the connector. Nanny gets the headshot on one and takes down Goose Breeder. They're trying to put a lot of pressure on her just to keep fighting with the USP out. Eventually, they manage to take her down, which is, you know, a little bit concerning if they can put that AK to work. Kelsey's certainly trying to pick it up. I think, yep, there we go, finally realizing, oh, but she's out of bullets as well. Continuing with the Tech 9, that's impressive, and couldn't quite get the reload in time. They get a couple of kills, which is not that bad. I mean, that does a bit of damage, surely. But we're tied up. It's 3-3. Great start for the Brazilian side. You gotta love it.
Yeah, this is fun. You know, we got a very exciting game on our hands. Of course, it can still go either way. But it's nice to see that this is going a bit back and forth. Of course, now CLG have a full buyback on the board, so let's see what they're going to be trying to do. Last time around, it was a bit sloppy towards the mid-round, towards the end. But we got another try on the board.
Moving out long to try and get a little bit of info. But again, they are so sure, like they have been the last couple of rounds, that there's going to be some kind of a faster B execute. So they've got, again, 4 players defending the B bomb site right now, which is not super uncommon. I mean, you can get away with it because, at least in theory, they have one player that's on guard duty over on that side. Nanny's, she's keeping an eye on it, should be a good position. Now she's got some more backup. Even Goddess is showing up, so they've realized not going to be any kind of a fast B play this time. CLG. Last time when they were playing this sort of a slower style, that's when they kind of ran out of time and they tried to fake it and run to the B bomb site. We'll see if they have a better way of dealing with it now, because we're already getting not that low on time. But I mean, the problem is Overpass, it's such a giant map that 50 seconds, on ancient 50 seconds, you can go almost anywhere with. But Overpass, it's a long way to run to that B bomb site right now.
Ooh, and that is some intel. I think Johnny's spotted at least 2 players on, and now with a kill on top of it. That is pretty huge. They already had quite some players down there, but now they definitely should feel where it's going to be headed. Still 2 players over at B, and in fact, there's now a kill coming in for Kelsey on B, so that might fake things out. They're gonna be going to B. And Julie, well, Julie is still sitting and waiting here. There's a Molotov going to short, so that will delay things. I think the bomb is right there.
They don't have a smoke to put it out. That might actually be round winning. She's going to get the kill on Kelsey as well. Oh! I can't believe she put it down. Great follow-up, taking down Julie. Oh, this is so well done. She basically won the round with that Molotov. And Kelsey, she got that kill basically as they were rotating to the A bomb site. So that's a really smart kill to get for Kelsey down there. And then they actually made the call. They had to make that call instantly to try and run there. And if that Molotov doesn't go down, they're probably there in time, and they could probably win that 1 versus 3. That is actually some expert timing. Really well done.
Yeah, I think they must have guessed, oh, B probably is clear after that 1 kill, but considering how the last couple of rounds have panned out, Blackdragons always tend to have at least 2 players still waiting there, which means, you know, if one dies, there's still 1 left, and in this case, it was Julie, and yeah. The clutch is over with the Molotov. You love to see it, and that's the thing. You know, they took a lot of time. They used a lot of their utility already, so it could cost you the round in the end.
I think those are some of the more interesting rounds. The one that we just saw there, because you have to have a pretty good understanding of what the enemy team could be doing in those moments. For all you know, it's still pretty much just an A attack. It's just a little bit delayed, right? And then you have to stick around as the only person still left in B to try and find it out. If you're wrong, you're never even going to be able to rotate to the A bomb site. So Julie had a lot to do down there to stick around and throw that Molotov. It can be very, very hard to do, to get that information, and kind of probably some good communication on that team for everyone else to call it out too. Goose braided down early on, so 4 versus 3 now, and Blackdragons are in the lead. Now it's getting real interesting.
Yeah, and I love this aggressive position. Nothing is really happening just yet, but it could go for like such an insane low play if the sound cues are there. Now the flashes are being thrown on mid. It looks like they're just going to be sitting patient, actually with 2 players over and long, so perhaps a nice little anti-flash place. So far, CLG Red can roam around on mid. Of course, the real contestment has to come when they push into the site. Goddess moving up close to bathrooms. Might spot a player here or there. Oh, things get a little shaky for a sec.
Yeah, that's super scary. Ooh, and they want to pin her down, and dies on that position. She held that angle for a long time. is able to pick it up. Nicely done. Dina still gets one on Kelsey, and there's the luck you were talking about earlier. Taking down Dai, so the AWP is out of the round. Younger taking down Julie, and almost gets the scope back in time. Emmy, I think the highest rated player at the moment on CLG Red, now 1 versus 3 with 20 seconds. And the bomb kind of awkwardly almost lost there. Looked like it was stuck for a minute. She's going to fake the plans one time, and still in a 1 versus 3 with 10 seconds. I think the clock has run out of this round. Shouldn't be possible. She almost got a 2 for 1 there. But yeah, eventually just not enough time left. And now they've really taken a lead and taken the money again away from CLG Red. Wow.
Yeah. It was this round. I mean, we had Nani sitting on long for a second, and the patience that comes in from Blackdragons, which results in great timings. We've seen it now a couple of rounds already, where just when the communication is on point, you feel how your opponent is trying to play out around, and if you anticipate good enough on that, we get the victory now in favor of Blackdragons. Slowly widening the gap, but yeah, considering that CLG Red had started with 3 rounds, this is starting to look really good for Blackdragons.
Yeah, it's super impressive. It really is. I think they're playing a couple of ways that you could tell CLG Red maybe are not quite expecting that long push coming up from Nani in the last round. Got us with a great spray down against pistols, but still a quad kill. Always gets people fired up.
It's always nice to see. It's just so satisfying, yeah. But yeah,
nobody cares at the end when they look at the scoreline, right?
Nah,
you just see big numbers, you think that's it. Good job.
Well, 7 kills now in total, and I mean 4 of them came just from the last round alone. And with that, Blackdragons are now double the scoreline of CLG. I think they desperately want to try again, and that's the thing, you know, especially on the Overpass. And if suddenly all the momentum goes towards one team, it's going to get real tough trying to break it.
That's what we're seeing right now. I just thought the momentum was going to be on the CLG Red side.
Yeah, for a second.
That's what the whole sort of career that they've had so far is kind of built up to. You're expecting that they're probably going to steamroll most of the teams that they're playing against, but right now it is a little bit different. Julie out for a look outside of the B bomb side again. We did mention it earlier, and I think the desk talked about it too. I think Heku even asked about aggressive sort of plays coming out. We're seeing a little bit of it here. And it's not right at the start of the round, so it might even be hard to read if you're on the CLG Red side. Nearly walks into the Younger taking down Emmy, and a good trade here again, so 4 versus 3.
There's some contestment going now down on B, and in fact the bomb is certainly headed away, but Goddess is still waiting. Sadly though, can't convert onto a second one, but yeah, now it is all on the shoulders of Dai, who needs to clutch this out in a 1 versus 4 then in the end. Definitely a tough position to be in, especially on the oven. Just a single grenade left, not even a smoke that you can pick up. Try to cover yourself, but the bomb is going to go down. Oh, nope, never mind. It's not an missed shot, sadly. So with that, Blackdragons add another 1 to the board, and with 3 players surviving as well, the money is looking better and better.
Yeah, big steps right now in the right direction. And generally, I think we tend to say, you know, in those 1 versus 4 type situations, you need the enemy team to make some mistakes. You need them to screw something up, otherwise you're probably not going to win that round. So, and they went pretty much all at the same time, so pretty good job right here. Oh wow, this is a bit unexpected.
I saw the octopus on the Blackdragon squad during the online season. They always had like a little octopus plushie that they had on the monitor, and I see they brought it to LAN as well.
A little mascot. It's actually surprising how many players are slightly superstitious about things like that. Like certain socks that people wear. Like it's really funny, I think. So why not? Why not an octopus plushie?
Yeah, and it's like one of those plushies that you can like turn inside out, and then it becomes like angry. So I think right now is on the good side. So Blackdragons are feeling well.
They are winning. It makes sense to me. I actually know exactly what they are. I think those are cool. Yeah. All right. We've got a couple of Tech-9s, actually 4 of them back with the Deagle as well. And a 7-3 scoreline right here as we move into round number 11. Julie on the CLG Red side out looking for something, but I don't know who's hunting who at the moment. Nanny's here as well. Goddess on the other side. I'd say Nanny's maybe a little bit exposed. This is one of those positions where you could end up giving up the M4, and yeah, they know it too. That's why they're running her down immediately. They realize, okay, maybe we all die to this, but we could get the M4, and that's going to be worth it. Smart move.
Oh no.
Oh,
no. Oh! You hate to see it. Yeah, she tried to go for the back, then she just slipped away, so it turned into a flank, and yeah, well.
Yeah, you can't stab people in the shoulder for a one hit.
You know.
Oh. Now, if
it
they
was
lose,
a nice attempt.
If they lose the round behind it, though, you have to imagine that could be a bit painful. Don't let CLG Red back into the game, especially not off of a moral victory like that. Bomb's already down. They've got the 2 M4s, and Blackdragons, do you want to risk the rifles? I mean, they have some money in the bank. They could go for it, and they will. Young is already down. Nice AWP shot, but Goose Breeder's on the other side, already taking a kill, and now they're a little bit low on health and running out of time. Actually did get the damage, and now the smoke is up on top, and Younger inside. She's on her own. They're trying to get her. Knife is out, and it's absolutely perfect revenge. Julie taking down Younger. That's what, just showing them how it's done.
Yeah, that is, I mean, the knife earlier didn't quite work out. So, you know, time to make some good use of it. I mean, that's where it started. They were like, okay, you're going to try and knife us? We're going to knife you right back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So, but that's how things can turn upside down. You know, it all started with that kill over at Bathrooms, where Nani was just a bit too overextended. It was a good idea at first, maybe try and grab some intel, grab 1 kill, but then you really got to fall back, and it didn't quite happen, and it all spiraled down from there.
Those rounds, I think, are so scary because it's probably really hard if you've never played in a tournament, especially if you've never played on LAN. If you kind of screw up a round just to like a small mistake, it can have such a devastating impact on the team. So I'm so curious to see how this is going to be playing out. Dina, I think she got wallbanged from that second shot. Dai's already taken 1 kill, just basically opening up the bomb site on her own, and now nearly a second one. So that's a power start. CLG Red were just down 7-3, and then they get that round partially due to the hilariously failed knife, and the problem is, if that lets them back in the game, if they get up to 6-7, maybe, I mean, they could get up to 7 or 8 rounds, even still, Blackdragons are going to remember that round. Goose Breeder would have got that kill either way, but that's a bit of a heat check. Taking down Youngher, she's been quick with the AWP, but M4 was just a bit faster on the other side, and now it's a 5-on-3. And they don't have that much cash left either. I don't know, Velas. I'm starting to get worried now for Blackdragons.
Yeah, it's a very big investment that needed to come through. Okay, Julie does manage to grab Kelsey, and Dota was a bit of a trade in return. Yeah, things definitely look good now for CLG. I love the way that they are now surviving with free plays as well. So they fire right back at the right moment that they need to. You know, it looked a bit scary for a second. But, you know, if you get a chance, if you get a little bit of a present, you got to try and capitalize on it and run with it.
I love that interview that we had before the match with Goose Breeder, sort of saying that she wanted to use the pandemic season basically to come out of that being the hardest working player and just being able to take everyone down. That's a great mentality to have. You could see how it's paying off that last round. Basically peeking into the AWP and just being so quick. And now the money is gone. Very likely going to be 6 rounds on the board here for CLG Red, which is probably a great baseline for a T side on Overpass. Nice boost. 3-player boost happening to look over the wall. It was a bit of a gimmick, but doesn't mean it can't work.
The sad thing is, though, no one quite there yet.
Yeah,
it's not gonna, at least for now, it looks like it's not gonna pay off, but who knows where CLG is gonna go. Still a minute left on the clock, so they can pretty much go anywhere. And the funny thing is, they haven't really gotten that much control yet. They're not into short, they're not into connector, they're not even out mid. Just Emmy on long, and looks like she's gonna lurk as well. So it's going to be quite the play for CLG to wait and try to prolong again. Luckily for them, though, Blackdragons is just on the pistols now. Emmy also grabbed the first kill. So, on paper, I think they should be fine overall, but the boost is going to come to the test. A bit of damage dealt onto Boost Breeder. Oh, and a great nade in return. They know what time it is. And I think by now, they can just clean them right up.
That is well done.
Oh, wait, I heard some noise.
They were stabbing each other in another round. They're feeling good. They're backing it emotionally as well. I think this is great. I mean, when you spot that boost, you know that there's three players there. You know it immediately. So it gives away all the information nearly. The nades were good, and then obviously Julie up at the high ground working out very well. Okay, I'm so worried for Blackdragons that that one round
is gonna cost them.
And I mean, it could really happen.
Yeah.
It's a real test of a team. I feel like a real test of a team. How much can you move past it really quickly, or does it kind of linger in the team for a couple of rounds, or maybe even a whole map? That can happen.
Yeah. And the thing is, it is still a best of one. So after this, it's gonna be done. And I mean, there is another chance. You know, it is double elimination, so they're still safe. But of course, ideally, they want to make semi-finals and just have a nice rest up until the last one.
Especially taking down CLG Red. If you do that here, you put yourself in such an amazing position, don't you? So it's a lot on the line here. They're back with rifles though, which is great news. Scoreline 7-6, and Younger will open up, taking down Emmy. It's a good start. Goose Breeder though, a little bit quick there. Goddess, no one behind her to throw any flashbangs or anything, so just a straight up fight, and Annie gets caught there trying to relocate her position. Probably felt like she was a little bit exposed out there. So now 3 versus 3. Dina going to be taking out Julie. It's a nice little control, not just getting the man advantage now, but also, in fact, having the center of the map. They can't really rotate between A and B as long as she's there.
Oh, they're gonna let Younger push in. They're already out though. That's a problem. They've given too much space, but right then Julie comes back up, cleans them right up as well. So that at least secures the advantage going into the second half.
I think it's smart, though, for CLG Red to go and check the stairs in that 2v3, because if they win that fight, they could actually just go to the B bomb side, and it suddenly means that Blackdragons, who are sort of running up behind them, would actually be in not that great of a position. So I appreciate it. It didn't work, but I still think it's actually a smart move to try and get that done. All right, blowing up the door, flashing into Monster, pretty efficient. Again, persisting with that 3-player defense down here at the B bomb site. Why not?
And I just love the control that Blackdragons is getting. Connector is absolutely theirs, and they've smoked off Monster as well. So CLG Red, all the control right now has been denied. There's a little bit, perhaps, of room towards long, but currently that is not where they're at. Actually, they did manage to grab some space into Potty, and now that those smokes have faded in Connector, they try to regain the ground, leaving just 2 players alive on the Blackdragon side. Yeah, and suddenly this round is tough, and we might have a very, very close first half.
Yeah, great comeback for CLG Red. A lot of trust, I have to say, in Julie in this round, because she opened up with a double inside a Connector, and she didn't really have a lot of backup to do that. So if that fails, or if she just gets traded right away, it's a little bit of a different round. So some trust in the individual talent here. And on the Blackdragon side, this is a 2 versus 5. It almost doesn't matter, but we could have stacked both players in one bomb side and just hope that you can get something out of it here, because otherwise, right now, Goddess is playing on her own versus 5. That's going to be a little bit of a tall order, especially with the M4A1. Not that many bullets to play around with. Although she does a great job at the beginning. Huge double to start it with, and they almost could have walked into that shot there. 7 seconds left. If she actually had got one more kill, she might have won to time. Die will take down the last player, and that's how the first half ends. Great comeback for CLG Red, all things considered.
Yeah.
Super scary, especially against the team that's basically #1 in the world right now. So you gotta be a little bit careful here. Black Dragons now on the T side, and let's see if they can win the pistol. That could set them up pretty nicely. So I think this is one of those rounds where it probably will be important.
Yeah, and that's the thing, 7 rounds still on T side is very good. If now on the CT side, knowing COG Red, they can definitely make this work and perhaps just walk away with it. But we're not giving up just yet. There's a lot of chances left for Black Dragons to try and make something of it. Of course, the pistol round is going to be very important. And so far, they're getting the site for free. It's only Die trying to make some work of it here in Bank, while the rest was still over towards the B-bomb site. So it's going to be a 5-on-5 retake in the pistol.
Very tough to make work. We'll see. Ooh, and they're getting caught even starting the retake. Great play for Black Dragons, making sure that the whole flank of that retake never even could be put into action. Kelsey's on her own at the end, and she's going to be going down. So huge victory right now for Black Dragons, no doubt about it. And I actually think Dai played that pretty well in terms of she's obviously not there to win that fight on the A-bomb site 1 versus 5. She's just there to try and get some shots off, try and hit some headshots if you can. And otherwise, wait and instead of retaking 4-on-5, she can join the rest of the crew to do that. But it didn't work out that way. Really, really well done.
Yeah, but because it was still a 5-on-5, there were 5 players left on the Black Dragon squad ready to take on the after plan. So with that, they get sandwiched when they come out of connector, and yeah, that means CLG Red looks like they were actually gonna force into the next round. So that means they're very confident.
Yeah, they're going to be set up, I think, nicely right now. If they can win the next couple of rounds here and just kind of keep rolling the way that they were in the first half, really, it's not a bad look. Got to survive the Deagles and the Scout, though. I don't know. The Scout on this map is one of those tools that can do a lot of damage, especially if you play a little bit slowly. One player gets tagged, and then another one, and then a third one, and suddenly it doesn't feel quite as good. ME trying to put the Deagle to work, but after the update, which is not that new any longer, that close range, quick sort of Deagle spam doesn't work quite the same, does it? Ooh. Nicely done, though. Well,
perhaps the CZ can. It was a nice little tap there. And of course, that means that... Ooh, hold on a second. They were a little bit off guard there towards long. And in fact, Black Dragons is kind of swarming everywhere. They had players over at long, still trying to rotate now because the bomb is making its way towards the B-bomb site with smokes and everything in place. Yeah, it's a little tough for CLG to hold on to, but they've done damage. But considering that this was a Falls, they want to get something more out of it. They try to go for it. All right, Die. That's a nice scout shot onto Goddess. And with that, a 2-on-2. No kid on board. So if they want to go for this, they need to be real quick.
Probably better at this point to just turn this into a very expensive round for Black Dragons and trying to keep them in the bomb site. Because you're right, the lack of a defuse kit just makes this kind of a round almost impossible there. Die's going to be going down. Let's see if they can make it just a bit more expensive, but Goose Breeder dies, and I don't think the bomb will quite take him with him, so it's still a pretty good round. I mean, they get 3 kills in it, but it probably could have been a bit more. Black Dragons 10-7, though. They're in a good position. 3-round lead. This is pretty respectable right now, and CLG Red will have to save for another round before they can start to have an impact here.
Yeah, and the scary thing is as well, we are considering Black Dragons as the 2nd team in South America.
Yeah.
And they are having one hell of a performance already. That means that, CLG currently on that eco as well, so Black Dragons most likely is going to be picking up another round, which definitely widens the gap. It gives them a bit of a buffer to work with, and that's very favorable if, they're now on the T side.
Yeah, a lot of passion for Counter-Strike in South America. Nobody has any doubts about that. But, yeah, the support is definitely there for them at the moment, and you're starting to see it in the amount of talent, obviously, on Fury later, as we'll see, too. Yeah, they're out there. Goddess, she is on the hunt with the MAC-10. She's going to find a bomb site that's basically very stacked, and they have no idea. I don't think anyone could have really guessed that. Julie probably had a mild heart attack turning that corner. Cleaning it all up. It's a good job. Quad kill, sorry, triple kill so far. One of them went to Dina, but now they're just looking for Emmy, and eventually she's going to walk right into that AK-47. This is... It's a really, really good platform. If CLG Red don't win this next round, they're actually in a lot of trouble.
Yeah. And I think as well, they survived with all 5 of them. So money-wise, they can go for a bit of a bonus round, and slowly the money is building up for them as well. So even if they were to lose the next round, it's probably on the board, CLG will have the better weaponry. They even have that open play. But a lot of buffers here for Blackdragons to work with, so that is definitely a nice glimpse on the horizon.
Yeah, without a doubt. Setting up the smoke towards the restroom, the Molotov again even deeper towards restrooms, and they're taking over the first part of the map really quickly. This is so much faster than we saw CLG Red play when they were on the T side, so they're getting a lot of map real estate kind of for free right now. This is good.
I mean, this is what we're used to from the Brazilians. They even play pretty aggressive, in my opinion, on the CT side. Try to go for a lot of info plays, and now in return, they just like to pick up the pace, try to grab that side, and with Die not hitting the shot, that gives them a lot of room. That is the bomb though, but still in return, Dragons do fire back. The bomb is back picked up. We're still gonna try and go for this A bomb side, but Gooseberry are trying to hold on.
They actually had 3 players at the A bomb side, and they still weren't really able to slow down the T's that much, which is actually incredible to think about. They're a bit worried about that bomb plant right now. Reloading, almost walking through the smoke. That would have been a really big play right there. 37 seconds, and they're going to try and double team Dina, and eventually they get her down as well. 30 seconds on the clock. Goddess is wrapped all the way around. This is a really rare play. I actually can't believe it. There's no way they're going to see this coming. The bomb is going to be planted at the B bomb site. They surely will never check this, right?
I hope the timing is right. She just missed him by an inch, but if she goes down right now, they both should be lining up. That's one. I think she either heard or spotted the other one as well, and there they are. They're lined up. The information is right there. But now the kill, the trigger discipline is on point. Julie does swing around. That means Junger needs to clutch, and there we have it. Blackdragons, even though with 1 player surviving, they still do it, and it's all on the back of that insane play of Goddess.
For just a minute, I was so scared that she was going to try and go for it. I'm so glad she didn't.
Not again.
No, not one more time. Julie did, the flick that she did, 180, to actually get the kill on Goddess afterwards, actually lightning fast, so that's pretty impressive, but still not enough. And yeah, they were just read really well. That's a huge play. She got into that position and was able to call out the rotation to go to B instead. And obviously, that's just a round-winning play. Never mind the kill that she got. I mean, I think even just getting into that position to begin with, that probably wins you the round 80 or 90% of the time. So that's very well done. And probably super frustrating from the point of view of CLG, because you lose a round like that and you realize in that moment, man, we were red all along. They completely had the upper hand in terms of the information. 12-7.
Yeah, and the money is not looking great for CLG Red. There's a bit of money left, but for this round, limited amount of weaponry, just a few deagles, a scout, some SMGs. Not very ideal, but there is a good tag onto Dina already, very quickly. But yeah, I'm afraid it might not slow the Blackdragons down at all.
Doesn't seem to, and they're still moving forward. They have everyone here, which... that is sometimes a bit scary. If you've got 5 people on this side of the map and the CT start to push out of B, which they almost are, they can have a lot of info about what you're doing and you don't even really know it. So, gotta be careful. But now they're speeding it up, so it doesn't really matter. This is actually really good. Goddess, though, will go down. Gooseberry are able to land the headshot, but they should be able to get a fairly quick bomb plant. And with no defuse kit on the CT side, still have to assume it's going to be a really tough retake. We'll see if they can manage it. Nani, she's been playing really well out here. AK, and she nearly transfers the spray, but it's working out for CLG Red. Goose Breeder with a big double, and Judy will take down Younger, and just like that, no bomb plant even happened.
No. I'm so surprised it took so long. They had a very good opportunity to do so. There was a lot of utility in place that forced the CTs to go back. But in return, it just didn't come through. Maybe they were paranoid that there was going to be a lurk coming through. Probably overthinking the situation. And, well, that results in just the waiting game. And then the utility was gone. It faded and suddenly you're out of position.
Definitely a bit rough in terms of otherwise kind of having, I think, the right idea, getting to the bomb site pretty quickly, not letting the scout slow you down all that much. But it was just enough. So CLG Red, a bit of a lifeline here because, again, they were starting to fall behind just in every way possible at the moment. Money's not looking that good for them. They needed to win that round, 12-8. And now they need to keep it going for a long time. They've got Die back on the AWP instead of the AW, or is back on the AWP instead of the Scout. So that's a pretty big upgrade, and I think she's been looking pretty accurate with either sniper. But yeah, the extra firepower here could make a difference.
And this is now the opportunity for CLG Red as well. This is now their moment to try and build that economy, and if you get the momentum going now on CT side, perhaps Blackdragons could fall a bit flat now, staying on that 12 score line. Also, the money is low, so even if you do a lot of damage, it's gonna get rough. They probably can't rebuy into the next, and there is the kill from Die. Great one, and looks like she's even gonna go for an extra in for peak. But that is all. Just the first kill, and now try to hold on to that advantage.
Which is absolutely fine. You're right. There's no point in re-peeking that. Just leave him out there. 55 seconds on the clock. It looks like Blackdragons still hanging around outside of the A bomb site over on the restroom side, but a little bit far away from the bomb site. They're not quite sure what they want to do. They're going to slowly gravitate back to B now. And look at how far out Julie's been pushing. She's actually past T-spawn now. So the B bomb site might be empty, but if she backtracks, she could still find a really good flank. So this is going to be another really strange round, I have to assume.
And it's just going to be on the shoulders of Kelsey currently. There's some rotation coming in from Heaven, but it's not going to be in time to stop the bomb plant at all. Kelsey is just stuck behind the Molotov. But there's still potential. It is a 4-on-4 retake, but already the bomb is ticking slowly and slowly. And the utility probably needs to come in from Julie if they want to make something work. They're going to be just trying sneaking in to the bomb site. Good 1-for-1 trade. Nani comes in with the AK trying to hold on to the bomb site. That's in fact another one. And so far so good. Julie left to clutch this one out. And T-Play is left to find. And Nani just goes absolutely nuts here in this after plan over on B. And with that, Blackdragons secure themselves yet another round, pretty much crushing the hopes of CLG, because that was a very promising start of the round.
It was. I slightly suspect that what might have happened in this round is that when Julie's pushing out of the B bomb site, defensively, because she's not finding anyone out there, she's thinking this has got to be an A attack eventually, so they actually set up most of that defense for the A bomb site, and it makes sense, but they just managed to get down the connector and actually sort of slip right past her into the B bomb site. That makes all the difference in the world. Die is back though. She had a good flick in the last round, but couldn't quite win it. Taking down Younger to start this round with not at all bad either. She's up to 17 kills. I think she's been pretty reliable so far with that AWP. And that, we've talked a lot about the aggression on the Black Dragon side, but now they're fighting fire with fire. They're out to catch them early. They managed to take down Nani as well, and she's the top fragger right now for Black Dragon. She's got 24 kills.
That's nuts. 2 KD. At least 12 deaths. Looks very, very good. And I think, in fact, on the CLG side, it tends to usually be Emmy who's top fragging, but currently with Goose Breeder and Die on 17 and 18 kills. Emmy a little bit absent, actually, in fact. Pretty uncanny. Not really something that we see a lot from her. So, Yeah, just the impact missing. So for this round though, on CLG Red's their side, looking very solid. And Dina, yeah, the last player alive. And with the bomb there, I think she has a feeling what might be about to happen.
If she can get a couple of kills here, that really will make a big difference. That has to be the thought in the back of their heads right now. Just one thing is CLG Red obviously about to make a bit of a comeback here, but the fact that they stay alive with all 5 players is a really big issue. And that's something that they're just going to have to fight even harder now to take all the money away again and try to make sure they can win the game in this way. I'm getting a bit worried now for Blackdragons because they're almost at the finish line here. Got the 13 rounds secured, but their money is running out. And CLG Red are starting to warm up quite a bit. I think you can tell now. They're getting there. Nanny trying to rush through. Actually, pretty good run right now. Oh. The counter flashes are really good on the CT side though, but they actually got through the Molotovs just fine, and that was a good start at least. Kelsey with a couple of kills. Nice couple of Tech 9s in return at the very least. And Julie's now on her own. Mac 10 in a 1 versus 3. And Bomb Plant looking almost impossible in this round.
Getting some space. She hears the water player. Oh, bit of attack, but it's not going to be enough. Simply the Mac 10, not the most ideal weapon in that scenario. And with that, yeah, CLG slowly crawling back onto the scoreboard. So, still, the hope is not out of the window just yet.
No, I'm actually significantly more worried for Blackdragons than I am for CLG Red at the moment.
Yeah.
I don't know, it's hard to explain, but you can almost feel the switch in momentum happening in the game. The money, again, for the T side, is just not that great. And could it be better, but they lost a couple of players in the last round. Emmy, good position, padding the stats and acing the entire team in one single clip of that M4A1. That is well done. They just, every single one of them came running up the stairs. Of course, didn't have armor or anything, but still, that's going to get her fired up at least.
That's good. I mean, I was just talking about her, so it's nice to crack the stats up a little bit. I mean, you know, it's just the eco frags, but
yeah, but
still have to hit them.
If you're having a tough game individually and you get that, you don't really care that they're ego frags. It still feels like, yeah, here we go, I'm ready. Yeah. 13-11.
Hopefully that little bit of extra confidence boost can, yeah, take them a little bit on a roll. And ooh, okay, bit of a boost coming through. Also now the push onto short. So CLG definitely said, B-side, it's going to be ours. And it instantly forces Blackdragons right the other way. Bomb is also making its way back towards A. Do you have 2 players over at long that currently are not really being contested? 2 players playing a bit more back into the side. Also not really any presence in connector. So gives Blackdragons a bit of a shot again, with still only 1 player down.
Yeah, they can get close to the bomb side. What a rough timing for Goddess. That jump made her look up, so that die basically, I mean, it was just really unfortunate timing. So it meant she was kind of looking away from the AWP that was up close. 50 seconds, they're going to try and make their way through. The flash is good, but no one is challenging just yet. Emmy will eventually go down, die with the AWP. She's picking them apart. I think she got the leg on Youngher as well. She is so low. She's down to 9. I think that was Dai's work as well. And now it is a 2-on-2, 35 seconds. They could maybe get a bomb plant. They need it really badly at the moment. Smoke on one side, Molotov on the other. But the health is massively with CLG Red right here.
At least they get the bomb down, but the question is how much time do they have to reposition? Both of them are sort of at the same spot as well, so it might set them up for a good trade, but it might also set them up for trouble. That's at least the first kill coming in. Nanido, here we have it! She just clutches it out.
Very well done. And again, we said top fragger, 27 kills. That is a very tricky 1 versus 2 to try and win. She was a couple of bullets away from dying in that moment and somehow managed to get the job done anyway. So 14-11. Blackdragons, they just need a tiny bit more. They're almost there. But again, because CLG has had a couple of good rounds, they still have money to buy.
Yeah, they just keep knocking on the door. They
Yeah.
they want to get in so bad, but they can't just yet. But there is a lifeline, another pass coming in. Just discussing, of course, yeah, how you're gonna pick up from that. You know, you were expecting to be winning that round, and then it's Nani who steps up individually and seems to be cool, even when you think it's all gonna slip out of your hands. She just remains very, very calm.
Yeah, I think she's obviously been the star so far on, on this map. It's the best of one, so we'll see later on when it gets a little bit deeper if they're going to be able to roll out a couple of more players. But yeah, huge difference right now. The drop from her, 27 down to Goddess at 19. That's a pretty sizable drop. She's doing a lot of work right here. And it's been working. Die, trying it again. All right. I think she's been almost hitting that jump every single time. Up on the flower bed. It's a position that actually can get counter boosted from the birthday party, but people rarely do.
Yeah, now Blackdragons taking it almost uncanny slow.
Yeah.
This is not what we're used to seeing from them, but I think, you know, this is also part of the pressure that is currently on the game. You're so close, you want to try and execute it well, and with now one player down, a lot more pressure even onto them. Goddess is just going to try and back up the team. Try, of course, to make the calls, but it is, yeah, a lot of pressure. Now they're going to try and come in with the execute. 40 seconds left on the clock. So far, so good. They do overwhelm Goose Breeder and Die, and that means that the defense over on the A-bomb side is gone. Over the player advantage now. They can even reposition. Emmy, though, does come in with the kill onto Goddess. So, all doors are open. Younger does grab Emmy in return. But how much more can they do?
I don't know. They're running out of players for this retake, aren't they? Kelsey and Julie, the original B defense, has now shown up. Going to take down Dina, but Nani's out there. She's still alive. 29 kills, and at least it'll get the one shot on her there, but Kelsey can't find the headshot. Younger on the other side. That's 15 on the board for Blackdragons. They are one round away from taking down CLG Red, and that would be a really exciting upset to start here with on day one. I've got to say, I mean, you said it, Blackdragons slowed that down, and actually Julie and Kelsey, they moved out of the B bomb site to find that first kill to put them in the 4-on-5 advantage. It's a really cool way to do it. If you know the enemy team is going to be slowing it down, you can try and punish them that they did make that work, but they just couldn't find that A defense. So 15-11, here we are.
Yeah. And I mean, of course, it can definitely still happen. You know, 4 rounds is doable, but considering that they have MP9s on the board, okay, there is definitely some firepower coming out of CLG. Perhaps you just need to give it to them and add in that little bit of extra pressure. 2v1 still, though, and Younger with an AK in hand, we know she can be so scary.
She's going to have to step it up right here. 1 versus 2 to try and see if she can win the map for her team or let CLG back into the game. The spray is good, but Emmy right there behind. The spacing was perfect, and CLG Red will live a little bit longer. It's going to be 15-12. Ooh, they had there's such a strong defense at that B bomb site. 3 players to start with. The high fives are nowhere near as good, but it doesn't matter. As long as they're winning the rounds, that's all that counts.
Well, it seems that, I mean, they're still having fun, even if they're technically not winning just yet. But it might seem that they're not having that much pressure as maybe we're trying to talk them into having. Which is good. If the pressure's not on, you think you can remain calm, then it's fine. And definitely CLG Red is a team with so much experience that we know are definitely capable of bringing this to an OT.
Boost could be really well timed here. A little bit of a pre-fire. It's Julie actually able to pick it up, so all right then. And pistols on the other side, of course. Likely to be a 15-13 scoreline. Yeah, Dino, she legged at least one of them and has plenty of space to pick that one up. Again, she's been a real revelation. Emmy's kind of joined her now, and Goose Breeder's there, so she's got some backup. It's more of an even kind of performance happening on the CLG Red side right now. But I think they would have lost this map already if Dai hadn't been hitting a lot of those AWP shots earlier in this map. So
Yeah.
credit to her.
Yeah, Dai is always the player that has a lot of impact over an Overpass, especially when that AWP comes in play. It was missing for a little bit, and of course that's the thing. If you struggle with economy, you can't really afford the AWP. The impact, it happens with a lot of teams. It just instantly just drops on certain players.
Yeah.
But it's good to see, you know, now that they got the economy rolling, it's she's in a really, really good spot. And, well, 15-13. So much can still happen. It can also just be done in just a second. You know, now is the time for Blackdragons to come together, group up, and try and finish it.
Yeah, they just need one strong opening here, one quick move, and they could have the upset that probably most people were not expecting. Nice Molotovs, and Dragons, they don't have, well, they have some smokes, but they don't want to use them to put out the deep Molotovs that are thrown in there from the CT side. Happy to take a little bit of extra time instead. And CLG Red have fallen really far back on the map. They don't have that many nades left either, in fact, so that's, I mean, that's a problem in general, but it's specifically a problem if you want to go for a retake at some point. That's what CLG Red would be missing right now. If they sort of have to go back to B and try and set up a lot of flashbangs and smokes to get down into the bomb site, that just won't be easy.
Yeah, a single smoke and a single Molotov. I mean, you can do something with flashes, but it's typically those that you desperately need. So it's gonna come down to the aim, and now
look at Julie and Kelsey again. Oh. They've moved outside of B. They know. They're actually rotating Julie back. They have such a good read right now. CLG Red, this is very cool because, again, because Blackdragons are playing slowly, they're just taking away the information from them. Goose Breeder gets the rifle out in time, and she gets the headshot, taking down Julie and Goddess both. And Younger on her own, 1 versus 4. But a lot of this, I guarantee it, was set up by Julie and Kelsey way before any kills even happened. The fact that they were outside of B, they knew what was coming. That is a really, really good move.
Yeah, and, well, she just wanted to die before the round was done. Otherwise, she'd just have no money in the bag. It's too much of a risk with such an important round now coming up. 15-14. It's either going to be the win here for Black Dragon, or we're going to go to, well, the first overtime here at the
yeah, we
finals.
haven't had any.
No, not yet.
Well, it's looking good. The money on Black Dragons, super questionable.
It's rough. That's probably the word I got for it. There's pistols and Mag-10s and some utility. But if they do it, it's going to be even more impressive.
They are a little bit paranoid for good reason. Goddess going to be setting up the smoke.
Oh,
But they're running right through. Yeah, they get mowed down. Not even through the smoke before they're dead. This definitely feels like overtime. That, again, I've got to say, CLG Red, they might be thinking the lucky stars that they actually get to pull off this comeback here. Nicely done. Kelsey at the end, and it's 15-15, and we're going to the overtime.
Oh, this is so exciting. Like, so much can be happening. We thought, okay, CLG would take it, then we were sort of favoring Black Dragons, and now it just flipped on its head again.
It's hard to deal with, and we'll see if it's going to affect anybody here. 15-15, and Black Dragons continue on the T side.
Yeah, you were talking about, you know, the pressure that is on, and so far towards the end there of the game, we had CLG Red picking up the momentum, trying to dictate the pace more. So that can be a very scary prospect if you are Black Dragons. Though, of course, with that money, that is very favorable, because right there at the end, there was nothing left for Black Dragons for them to hold on to. So, well, then we landed ourselves here in OT, but perhaps now we can have the battle of the ops, Younger versus Dai.
Yeah, that could. I mean, someone's gonna have to put a stop to Dai at the moment, because she has been playing a really great game so far. What's even more concerning, I'm pretty sure when we talked about Emmy not doing too much, she was at 10 kills, then she got 5 in the ace, which were against pistols,
Yes.
and now she's at 25, and I don't even know how that happened, but that's a huge problem, right? Because before it was just die on her own, and she almost sort of got them into overtime, and you can see why. Very, very quick with that AWP, taking down Nanny right here. Top fragger for the Blackdragons side. Now Goose Breeder out on the hunt. And, wow, she is going to get this kill, and even more. Oh, she's going to almost make an escape there, but the information is still pretty good.
Yeah, and 20 seconds left. That's going to be, like, insanely hard to still try an entry. Oh, I had a very good angle, but still, the quick scope will definitely do. Yeah, and the time's running out. Oh no, wait, while I said that, Goddess just magically grabs 2 kills, and I think, yeah, the bomb is going to go down now.
That's shocking. I don't know how they lined up, but somehow they did. I can't believe it. Smoke is up as well. This could turn into a round for Blackdragons, even though it shouldn't have been. Goddess turning around for the flashbang. The spray is good, and Kelsey, she's going to get shot in the back. Younghair will bring it down. That is a really wild round. Everything up until that double kill for Goddess looked like it was over. Really no time. They were in a 4 versus 2, and then snap, and we're back into the game. That's crazy.
And the way that even after she got 2 kills, she decides to, okay, I think they're going to come in from bank. Let me sneak up to the smoke. And the timing looked a little bit off. She got a bit startled that there were 2 players, I think. But it still panned out in the end. Good trade there from Yumber as well. So the teamwork makes the dream work. And now Blackdragons are up by 1 round here in this overtime. Already being tagged to half HP. It's not a great start.
Yeah, making a quick escape. Didn't want to stick around down in connector any longer. Blackdragons moving fairly quickly up long here. Just taking a quick peek in, convinced that no one is playing close, which I gotta say is a bit scary. Again, someone could be in that corner, but they're taking a little bit of a liberty here. Die, just gonna shoulder peek it. Make sure no one's gonna run around that corner, and a lot of them at least are stuck out there. Goddess though, is this enough? If she gets a kill, maybe they could run back to the B-bomb site. Emmy's going to catch at least Julie in transit, and now the bomb is out here. This is a weird round, but Goddess is still taking over the B-bomb site on her own, so there's a way, realize they could still win this round on the T side.
They could, no. But the scary prospect is, of course, the bomb needs to make its way all the way to B. That's going to take time, and in that same time, who knows what the CT side will be doing. Now, it seems that they have quite some attention going on as Dina tries to swing out over on A. She magically tries to stay alive, but actually ended up being quite good for a little while. And now, at the same time, Blackdragons have barged into B bomb site, with the CTs not there just yet. Ooh, that was a very tricky spot. Goddess doesn't manage to hold on to that one. Oh no, and now Emmy coming in from Monster. Yeah, this is just a very clean kill. Easy for her to grab. Nani though, will grab one, not a second one. And yeah, with that, just a little bit out of position there at the end.
That is, I don't even know what to say. This round could have probably been won a little bit earlier from CLG Red, but that turned into a really scary affair at the moment. I think the fact that Emmy, she went on that flank really early on. She went the long way around, and the problem when that kind of thing happens is that it's really hard on the T side. Your internal sort of clock for when you have to turn around and look through that tunnel is just way off, because you think, well, we just came through there 10 seconds ago, so there's no one's going to be there right away. And yeah, it just was really good timing, but that is still a really close round. 16-16. We'll see if they can get one more round in here on the CLG Red side. We're going to get a grenade stack for the boost. Always a good idea. It does tag up Goose Breeder a little bit. I mean, a second earlier, and she would have been there. Now they're actually going to boost. Now they feel really safe. Like, great, we know you've put out those nades, so now we're going to go for it. They're going to rotate everyone back from the B-bomb side. They feel like this is too telegraphed. People are going to know it's coming. It's wasting a lot of their time, isn't it, though?
Still, Blackdragons very, very slow into this round. The last time we saw it, things got a bit tricky. Because if you don't really have a lot of map control, that gives CLG a lot of opportunities, right? To try and get behind you. So far, they're being kept at bay, at least over towards B. They do have Goddess as a lurker right there. And we know what she can do on the lurk. But, oh, she's going to get tested real soon as this smoke fades. 2 players right there waiting. Grabs one. Okay, not the second. But at least that, yeah, means... Ooh, wait, Blackdragons, hold on a second. The bomb made his way all the way back over towards B, thinking perhaps the play of Goddess could work out. But it didn't. Now, that leaves just Younger all by herself. Does have an AWP, but, yeah, no time and not the manpower.
Yeah, not much they could do here. That is... I mean, if Goddess gets those 2 kills, I think they probably win the round. The counter Molotovs coming out, though, are so good for the CLG side, and it's really hard to keep those Molotovs in your pocket that late into the round. So, gotta say, really well done. They win 2 out of 3 rounds in the first half of overtime, and that's pretty respectable. That's a good position to be in here. And yeah, they just were a little bit, I think, slow to decide what to do on the Blackdragons side. Once they kind of that grenade boost or the grenade stack didn't really work, and they felt like we can't really stick outside of the B bomb site, so they had to go back and check A, and then kind of lost track of the time just a bit. 16-17, and now CLG Red, they need 2 rounds here on the T side, and they will claw their way back and win it in overtime.
Definitely possible. Though, ooh, Ghost Breeder definitely took a few hits there. Not very ideal, but she's still alive, so anything can still happen. Of course, it is still Gene Red now being on that T side, where they struggled a fair bit. Blackdragons managed to grab quite a lot of momentum on their CT side.
Ooh, a little bit of typing going on. I'm wondering if there's some sort of
perhaps we have a tech issue.
It's possible, but always the scary thing is once you've taken damage, it's possible. The admins will just say you have to keep playing. So hope they'll figure it out one way or another. The rest of CLG Red, until we get some sort of other call. We'll assume that the game is at least still going on. 50 seconds. They're outside of the B bomb side. They could still go for a pretty powerful hit right here. All they need is a good Molotov to put some pressure on the ramp. I think Dina is playing down there. If they can do that and a good flashbang, it could work. Almost catching Julie and a little bit more back here. This is it. Through the smoke they go. Flashes are in, but they line up instead. And this is a rock-solid defense. Only Julie going down on the Blackdragons side. So, nicely done.
Yeah, that was really good. It was just very crisp and clean. Not much needed. They just all barfed out of Monster. And if you're there with the backup, it's a nice clean round, just like we love to see coming out of Blackdragons. And with that, it's still pretty close. 17-17.
Yeah, it could go any way right now. We'll see what the admins come up with, and once they're ready to put the game live again, hopefully soon. Definitely an underappreciated job, being a tournament admin. People only know what you're doing when something goes wrong. Otherwise,
yeah,
there's no recognition. You just so we gotta appreciate that. And we'll see. All the headsets are still on, so hopefully they are good to go. But you're right, all tied up. So we'll see what happens. It's such a different experience for a lot of these players if they've never played on LAN, because online Counter-Strike and LAN Counter-Strike are almost 2 different games. And that's just how the game mechanically functions. But then if you add to that, obviously the atmosphere and the fact that there's a crowd, and then also the fact that you can now see your teammates' screens. Like normally if you're playing, we've all been playing online Counter-Strike for such a long time now, but the advantage of not having to ask someone or to look at the little mini-map, but to just be able to look to your left or right and see what's happening is obviously massive. And also the problem is if you've never tried it before, which obviously on the CLG Red side we know they have, so you can get some advantages that if you know how to use them, you can actually become a significantly better player. But you have to learn it on the spot. If it's your first time playing like this, it takes a minute. It's hard to adjust to, and you might not know exactly
Yeah, I mean, we have definitely a lot of teams here at the finals that it is their first time playing on LAN. Take
Yeah.
for example, Mind Freak. They posted these little interviews over on Twitter, where they were talking about the very overwhelming feeling almost of being able to boot camp and then play on LAN together, and how amazing it felt, you know, to be able to see each other, fist bump each other, hug each other, and it definitely lifts up the team. But if you're new to it might also overwhelm you a little bit and overload you in information that it can get a bit much. But these two teams are very much used to it. We've seen Blackdragons also boot camp during the online season, so they are definitely used to playing together. Same for CLG Red.
Yeah, I think it was. I'm trying to think because I was watching that from the social media account Mindfreak earlier, and they definitely, you could tell what an experience it is, and some of them seem really confident though, which I really appreciate. I like that. I want players to to show that they sort of they have a little bit of faith in in the team, and that they're here to win. I think, and that's really good. That's an interesting story. Probably no one was really expecting them to power through the way that they have. So
No,
it's good to see.
It's exciting as well. You know, Mind Freak have qualified for Valencia as well.
They've done that too,
through
yes.
The NA qualifiers, since they were already in Dallas. They played it then in the NA region, and they dominated. You know, teams that we have here in the tournament, they have beaten in order to make it and grab the spot, which is very, very exciting and almost unexpected.
Yeah, and that's a good start, right? But also, the problem is usually when that happens, it also means that a lot more teams are they're gonna study how you play. They're gonna be more prepared. They're not gonna underestimate you in the same way. So some of the element of surprise could also be a little bit gone for a team like Mind Freak. So we'll see how that goes when we watch them play a little bit later on. This will be. I'm not sure. Again, we're just waiting for the admin team to get everything back online. I'm assuming they're discussing a little bit whether or not if all the issues are fixed. So hopefully they'll be ready sooner rather than later. Every Blackdragons look like they're in a pretty good mood. They're still enjoying themselves.
I mean, the octopus still looked good, so that's a good sign.
It wasn't turned inside out. Here we go. That could still happen, yeah. That could still happen. Here we go. 17-17, and we're in overtime. First team to reach 19 is what we're looking for. And CLG Red. Still on that T side, of course, with a very standard setup right here. Controlling that outside of B just slightly, and clearing out the rest of the map on the other side. Or at least attempting to.
Some noise over towards mid, so you can already see that CT defense shift a bit more towards that mid area, leaving connector for what it is for now. Younger is about to be tested real soon. It's gonna be a boost! Oh, it's just right in time. Dai swings out, and right by the moment Younger spotted him, or her, she was already gone. Nani though, simply a bit overwhelmed, couldn't really trade out and help the rest of the team. And with that, CLG Red have grabbed a player advantage now. So quite a lot of space for them to work with. They got connector control, they got mid. Perhaps waiting for rotation to come through. We know how Blackdragons like to play. They're either pushing right for A or B.
There's got to be a config that stops you from unscrewing the silencer on the M4. It is just one of the worst feelings in the world. We've all been there. But yeah, the boost from Dai to start of the round with, and now Julie's down here with it. Yeah, and once they swing past wide like that, it's so hard to stop them. Dina, she might have to do this more or less on her own. Backup is coming. Goddess is there in time at the very least. But the bomb is planted very, very quickly. And Blackdragons, they want to be quick about this retake. They do have a smoke, so they could put it on the bomb if they get the chance to. Kelsey's low on health. Smoke, it goes really deep in there, so trying to block out both of them at the moment. And she's going to tap the bomb. She does have the kit, and she might just try and hold it down all the way. Dina, a couple of seconds away, and they don't know it. Oh, and it's ice cold. A full-on defuse to win the 1 versus 2. Brilliant stuff.
sometimes you didn't need to have the balls in order to try. There were a few taps right before that didn't quite pan out. But in this case, you know, it's do or die. You gotta try it. You're at a disadvantage. So high risk, high reward, and it paid off. Blackdragons now in the lead, 18-17. But still, anything could happen. We could go to another right OT if CLG grab the round, and there's money left for them to buy up into the round as well. So things can still swing both ways, but perhaps Blackdragons, they do take it.
Yeah, I mean, they're in a good day. Once again, they're at the series point here. Like, they were in regulation. CLG ready to fight their way back into overtime, so it is possible that they might win it anyway. Oh man, I can't believe they lost that 1 versus 2. But it is a difficult play to pull off if you're Dina. She had enough time to fake it, which is probably what CLG Red were thinking too. This wasn't the only 5 seconds that she could have defused in, so the fact that she went for it is probably what threw them off. Die again! I feel like she's been winning that fight against Youngher so much. Very, very cool. Nani, that is a lot of people on the other side, and she'll get overpowered eventually. 3 versus 4 now, and it is looking good on the side of CLG Red to try and get it into double overtime.
CLG Red, they do of course now have a player advantage. Still, considering we know how the defense is of Blackdragons, it can be so scary. But are still in position to... It seems like she's very much aware of the players on long, though. Kelsey sneaks in all the way towards that B bomb site. Julie's still ready though, and that means things are even out on the scoreboard. They do grab the head of Goddess right off. Means A side is now up for grabs, and with the player advantage again, this seems solid for CLG Red. But now they're gonna get tested. They need to hold on to the site.
Oh. Don't even get the chance to go for the retake here. They run out and catch Dina, and now Julie is on her own. 1 versus 3, and Dia's out hunting. It's double overtime as she lands her 29th kill. Pretty well done. It's hard to blame Blackdragons for rotating to the B bomb site once they run into Kelsey down there, because what are they're supposed to, like, oh, of course they think that is going to be some sort of a B hit, but no. Interesting stuff.
Yeah, and it started off with CLG Red setting the pace. They kept having the player advantage every single time again. Blackdragons tried to fight back, but in the end, we had Dai get like 2 kills for the take 9. it sometimes can just go down that route. And, ooh, I like this. Nani being pushed up. We have seen her be a bit overextended a couple of times. But perhaps if she's patient, it can pay off. There is a good flashbang. Does have the backup, I think, as well. And even while blind, she grabs 2 crisp kills. So it paid off this time around.
Yeah, she almost got timed on that one. That was a scary position, but just managed to turn it around in time. And that shuts down the entire offense here. Julie and Kelsey now 2 versus 5 with no real shot at winning the round here. Even with the bomb plant, it's not going to make a big difference. So, nicely done. Very aggressive setup from Blackdragons out there. Basically cutting off the entire map, so you like to see it. And Nani might start to feel also like she actually has to make a lot of these plays, because again, she is top fragging even now by quite a bit. Goddess and Youngher are a little bit sort of starting to catch up, which is great news. The drop-off is not as big as it was, but it's still possible that she feels like, if we're going to win this, I need to do it. I need to get the opening kills, and we'll see how it goes from there. Good start to the second overtime.
Yeah, I like the way that Nadi just tries to go for it. We've seen sometimes the mistakes coming through, but also a lot of times that it paid off, and this is definitely one of them. So, CLG Red they need to get back to the drawing board another time to go and try again. Still the AWP available in the hands of Dai. Love to see that come out again. She's on 29 kills. She is super solid, almost top fragging. Currently, Emmy has switched to top fragger. It's insane. Very
bad news, I think, for Blackdragons, the way that this is playing out. And Goose Raider's not that far behind, so they have basically a trifecta that's leading CLG back into the game. Goose Raider goes down. Youngher able to... She's waited out the Molotov that was there to begin with. She goes to pick up the fight. Very confidence building when you can find that. And also probably good for Youngher that she did not run into Die on the other side, because it feels, again, I don't know what the stats say, but it feels like she's been winning that fight a fair bit. Die, that is, on the CLG Red side. She's stuck out here. Kelsey might be. And she's been playing this solo B position a lot. I feel like if they find her, they're going to know that the rest of the team could easily be somewhere else. Emmy looking to maybe turn the corner, AK in hand. Just under 40 seconds now. She's got a couple of teammates behind her. Flashbangs are decent, but they don't actually touch Nanny. So still a chance that they might get shut down. 25 seconds. Kelsey's made her way into the B bomb site. That's probably why they want to try and turn it around, but they run into Julie along the way, and that gives up the game. Oh, but Kelsey with the backstab taking down Dina. She was the gateway to get into that bomb site, and now they actually have a shot at it here. It's back into a 3-on-3. 8 seconds on the clock, and they go for the bomb pile. The smoke show up and everything else. CLG Red, I can't believe they actually pulled through in this round, at least so far.
Another retake needs to come in. There's a bit of an health advantage, but still the positioning. Julie is up so close. Does miss the shot, but Kelsey coming in. 2 kills for her. That gives them now a player advantage. But we know Goddess, she can clutch like no other. That's one. And now only Kelsey left. She's going to try and stick the bomb for a second, but right as the footsteps come in, it's going to get real tough. No, she is fine. She is absolutely fine. That was one hell of a round.
A matter of seconds or milliseconds really at the end. It's tough on Kelsey because she doesn't have a lot of choice. If she tries to call her bluff and thinks that maybe she isn't actually going for the full defuse, she'll never make it in time if she changes her mind. So she almost has to run right away, and the problem is that's going to be super audible. She can hear the footsteps and swing for the fight. Wow, that was, again, I'm shocked that CLG Red even got into the position there where they can actually get back into the round, but Blackdragons winning the first 2 rounds of double overtime here. So they're in a good position right now. Last round of the half so far, and we'll see if they get this one. It's possible they could take it. CLG Red, they're almost there, but not quite.
We're going to go for this boost again. Not really spotting anyone this time around. And they're getting a lot of space, but they have this long setup. They have a player anti-flash. And it's Younger being a little bit more deep. And right as Younger backs off, Nani gets taken off guard. And that's so odd. They predicted it. Die just didn't even swing to the player in the back. They swinged instantly to the one at the rock.
That's pretty upsetting if you're holding that position. You just get thrown an AWP at you. Emmy comes in, Kelsey to follow it up. Goddess actually letting one of them go past. Could have worked out for her, but eventually Emmy will take her down, and now it's Julie here. 33 seconds. And they changed their minds. Why go and find her? Why not just let her be down here and win at least a round over at the A-bomb site? It makes sense. They really desperately need this round, CLG Red, so it's a good job that they managed to pick it up, because losing all 3 in the first half here of the second overtime, that would have been too much, I think.
Yeah, now there's a bit of a lifeline again. Julie, she doesn't manage to grab another kill. It's not going to matter that much. She just needs to go for it. Of course, last round there of the half, but 2019, still a bit of an advantage for Blackdragons, but nonetheless, CLG can still keep their hopes up and try to go for another one, and if not the win.
Yeah, keep it up. Just, yeah, they could, if they win 3 in a row here, then they take it. And they've been playing pretty decently, I would say, on the CT side. That's where I feel like Emmy kind of had her resurgence after a bit of a slow start to the map. So it's possible. God is playing alone outside of the B bomb site. CLG Red they've not been super aggressive at pushing up, but they have done it a couple of rounds on the CT side. Julie and Kelsey, usually a little bit later in the round, will push in to take sewer. That's something that we've seen a couple of times, and it's worked really well. So Goddess has to be prepared out there. She has to know, and actually they might actually flash him out. I think that's what's going to happen now. Goddess might be in a lot of trouble here. We're waiting for it. Oh, there's the push. Flashbang's not quite with him, and they still trade it. She only gets the 1 kill. That is a scary setup. And that, again, there are not many options left now for Blackdragons. The whole entire half B side of the map has just been swept away from them.
Yeah, and the player advantage doesn't look too good for Blackdragons. They do have that long control over, but we know that the op in the hands of Dai can be absolutely terrifying. And they're playing the slow game. They're just waiting for them to get into the site, and with the smoke fading real soon, is only gonna get better for Dai. The bomb now dropped as well. Emmy comes in with a little bit of a cheeky kill herself, and with that, 2020. Things are tied up again, and well, it almost seems like there's nothing's coming to an end.
Super well done in terms of slow playing the end of the round. It's tempting because you kind of know where they are, but by far the better choice is to smoke it off and let him run down the clock slowly. It's not worth it to try and go for those fights. So good bit of patience there, I would say, on the side of CLG. Tied up 20-20, and we'll see. Blackdragons again. This is uncharted territory, except for that many of them never really played on LAN before, and now you're playing overtime against the #1 team. So it's pretty tough. A lot of lessons being learned right now. 35 kills on Nanny Dai, though. She hasn't been playing this B-bomb side that much, and they're shocked by it. They weren't expecting the AWP down here. Remember, she's been playing mostly over on that A side, on the flower bed out at long. So it is a huge defensive switch from CLG Red to pull her down here, and it absolutely catches them off guard.
That's such a great play. Just to try and switch things up, because you know, we've been talking about Kelsey being sometimes a bit predictable over when they were still on the T side. So sometimes CLG hit some similar patterns, but right now they did it right at the perfect timing. Trying to diversify the scrapbook, come out with new ideas, and certainly has been paying off. 33 frags for Dai, 35 for Emmy. Looks very, very solid.
Yeah, and a flawless round here for them. Big steps in the right direction, and now the pressure is most certainly on for Blackdragons. Remember again, they were leading into the first even from regulation and overtime. They had the chance to win the game right then, and they were doing the same thing to get out of the first overtime into the second overtime where we are now. And if they end up losing it here, it's just going to be... It's so depressing if that happens. 20-21. All right, that's a quick. Didn't see anything, just a pre-fire, just to try and get the job done. Yeah, I mean, it's fair enough. It's fair enough.
Well, we still have Goosebrita, who's pushed up quite aggressive. Again, they have this double player setup over towards long. This time it looks like Emmy wants to chime in as well. Play close with the two of them, and if the timing might be right, there is 3 players waiting and ready at Fountain. Of course, it is being held. Dina ready in case anyone wants to come in.
Yeah, timing's everything here, and we'll see. Are they going to play it? Gotta be careful. Definitely know it's coming. Some footsteps around the corner. Emmy's in the good position, but the trade is not that bad. 2 for 2. They might accept that. There's one big problem, which is the bomb that's dropped really far back. So Goddess has to now run back, pick it up. And I wonder where they're going to go. I mean, it could, if Julie wins that fight down to the B-bomb side, they might just go for it. I think she's walking out, but Kelsey finds her, and that might be the series-winning kill right there. Die up close, she flicks and takes down Dina, and now it's Goddess on her own, and she just has to go for it. She had to go back and pick up the bomb. Her teammates are all gone, and it's going to be CLG Red in double overtime to take down the Blackdragons.
Oh, and what a way. You have to give props to Blackdragons, though. The way they still fought back every single time, but in the long run, CLG comes up top, and it's great to see them bounce back, because there were a lot of times that we thought Blackdragons had it in the bag.
Yeah. I mean, they could have just sort of won it. They had a chance in regulation. They had a chance in the first overtime, and in the end, and again, this is a painful lesson, but it is really hard to play these overtimes on land. There's just a lot happening. So